will feature some of your comments. What do you have to say regarding this?
Wow, you guys. So this is something that we probably expected, but was not confirmed yet. This has got to be one of the hardest times of her family's lives, and my condolences to the family. Um, there's no words. There's no words. This is a time that was supposed to be a young couple going out into the world and traveling, enjoying life, building their future, building everything for themselves. And instead of the world being at their fingertips, in a moment's time, it was completely destroyed. And now we have a situation where there is someone that is not a suspect yet, because like he stated, there's no evidence to support that he is a suspect, but a person of interest. So we all have to learn to use the correct terminology. So he is a person of interest, and we have no idea where he is. And I encourage, if by chance, a very small chance, he was to listen, the moment that you take away someone else's life, you've taken away your own. I lost my aunt to overdose. My brother was shot and killed. And a friend who was murdered by his friends that he grew up with. And I'm telling you, the moment that if anybody ever has that thought, the moment that you ever do that, you have utterly destroyed yourself. Hands down. There's never going to be a day in your life where you will ever be the same. You have just destroyed your life over weakness, because that's all it is weakness. How easy is this generation to tip over? The smallest thing in life is thrown your way and you just completely lose it. How? Why? As many options as you have in this world, why? This world has so many opportunities of futures that my generation didn't have. And instead of saying, you know what, things aren't working, you go your way, I go mine, this is how it goes, this is what you ended up doing. And we don't know who it is. We know it's a homicide. We don't know who it is. We assume we know. We have very strong opinions and feelings. And I'm speaking on opinions and feelings, not facts. And that's true. But we have to be honest about the situation. It's so wrong. I had such a hard life growing up, and 1,000,001 things were thrown my way. And never once did I ever contemplate ever harming somebody else, because I was struggling in life. I have anxiety. I have depression. I had anger issues because I had a really hard life. But never once did I ever try to do something that foul. This is unexcusable behavior. This is a weak-minded, weak-spirited person who has no self-control. If you think that you're strong by doing something like this, you're a very weak individual. There's nothing strong about you. And then hiding out. Let me tell you, if let's say, for example, he was innocent, completely innocent, he has nothing to do with it, but he is just afraid that the world is going to turn on him and he's going to get in trouble for something he didn't even do. possible, right? Even if that's the case, if that was me and that's someone I love, I would be on the forefront demanding answers, demanding to find out what is happening. What happened to the person I love? What happened to the person that I just spent all this time with? What happened to the person I grew up with, I went to school with? I'm sure you've spent holidays together. You know her family. She knows your family. I mean, how could you even fathom turning your back and hiding? And I know this behavior so well because I've been through so much in my life and I've seen how people behave. After my best friend died, the very people that you thought were supposed to be his brothers, his, like a brother to him, a best friend, they acted like they didn't even know him, distanced themselves so far away from him, acted like I was closer to him than them, and they knew him forever, since they were little kids, and I have recently just met him. To see how people behave is sickening, absolutely sickening. I am so sorry to the family. Again, I want to send my condolences to the family. This is so... And we have a whole bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We're watching, the footage from the body cams from the police officers, and we're wondering, if only this happened, if only you did this, or if only you did that, that things would be different. And anytime there's a death, we always have those shoulda, woulda, couldas. But nothing's going to change what had happened. It's set in stone now. And whoever committed this crime is the one who said it. But the same way they set her fate, they also set their own. So don't forget that. If Brian is ever listening to this, stop the foolishness. Stop acting like a little 2-year-old, hiding. Go to the authorities and man up and let them know what you know. Because you know something. No doubt about that. Help the family. Because no matter what, the life that you pictured in your mind is never going to happen. It's never going to happen for you. You can go to Cancun, you can go to Puerto Rico, you can go to New York and hide with family, you can go here, you can go there, you can go, I heard some people theorize Appalachian Trail, whatever, wherever you are. Your life is never going to be the same. Nobody's going to want to marry you. No one's going to want to build a future with you. Nothing is going to happen for you that's going to be good. You know what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life? Even if you don't get caught, you're going to be sitting at a bar, drinking away your sorrows. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be miserable every single day for the rest of your life. So you might as well show yourself to the authorities, come clean, and let them know anything. Even if you're innocent, whatever the situation may be. We have our opinions. Doesn't mean it's true. Whatever the situation may be, come forward, let the authorities know. Give this family at least that you took away the very thing. I'm a mother. And trust me, you take away the one thing that's preventing me from acting a complete utter fool, you better hope the police find you. And I know a lot of people say it, but I mean it. Because at that point, I have nothing else left to live for. There's nobody on this earth that I love more. So you better hope that they have other reasons to live for. As a mother who struggled to even have a child in the first place, for 10 years, I was trying to have a child and I couldn't get pregnant. I know what a child is and the blessings that a child is. And Brian, I know you're young and you're definitely dumb. I have no problem saying that one. But get some sense in you. Put some sense in that brain. Stop thinking like a little 2-year-old who's trying to hide in a corner, hoping that nobody can find him. Be a man. That's what you're supposed to be at this point. When I was young, I used to do stupid stuff. I did stupid stuff a lot. Trust me. Not that stupid, but I did stupid stuff. I beat up my manager once. She was running her mouth and I just boom, right in her face. And everybody was ready to lie for me. They told me they were going to lie for me. But you know what? I confessed to it. I womaned up and I faced my actions. Because I said to myself, if I think I'm smart enough and I'm, if I'm that passionate about that action, then I should be willing to take the consequences for whatever actions I commit. And from that day on, whether I do a right action or a wrong action, I always say to myself, no matter what, if there's consequences for it, I will pay for it. And I didn't have to tell them. I could have been like you and said, oh, I'm not coming in. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to talk to the police. I don't have to talk to them. I don't have to give them a statement. Probably the smarter thing to do if I wanted to be smart. But I wasn't trying to be smart. I was trying to be honest. I wasn't trying to look out for myself and be self-centered and selfish and narcissistic. I really felt in my heart that that woman deserved to get punched. And if I had to pay a fine or do some community service or whatever the judge would say, I didn't care. Because I felt that it was needed. She was out of line in my eyes. But I was young and I was dumb. Would I have changed it? Yeah. Because she wasn't worth it. Brian, if you're listening, please go and let the authorities know what happened. You don't even have to show yourself. Call in the tip line. Call in the tip line. And pretend to be somebody else. Text it. Do whatever you have to do. Let them know what happened. Don't let this family continue to cry and cry and cry and fight and fight and fight. Do you know how tedious court processes are and all of this stuff is? It wears emotionally, mentally, physically, everything. And they're already going through enough. This whole situation is enough in its own. And they have years down the line of things that they have to deal with now. You have people out here searching for you. They would rather be hiking, probably. You're out here acting like the jungle man. They would rather be the jungle man right now. They would be sitting here watching sports or playing with their kids. Instead, they're out here trying to look for you in swamps coming out with these huge vehicles so that they don't get bitten by alligators. All the tax dollars that are being thrown. I mean, I would love to see the bill that this has caused. At this point, I think that taxpayers should really come and say, you know what? If a person is found guilty of a crime, whatever they caused in tax dollars, they got to pay for it. They got to pay for it. They got to work for it. They got to pay that debt off. We're not going to keep paying for it. All of our hard-earned money to come and find you so that we can try and see if you will help the family out to get some answers. You're a grown man. You're a grown man. You're allowed to do whatever you want, go wherever you want. That's fine. But you know what is happening right now, and you know that your voice is needed. And where are you? Are you eating crickets in the forest right now? Or are you hanging out with some family members in New York? Where are you? Or are you in a boat? Does your family own a boat? I would like to know that answer. You live in Florida. It's not uncommon. These are questions I have. Do your parents own rental properties? Are you hanging out at a rental property? Not uncommon either. Did somebody get you an Airbnb? Questions I have. Enough of the nonsense. Look at other situations of families where their children have been accused of committing homicides and how it's ruined the entire family. You're going to ruin everybody's lives around you. Your mother's life is never going to be the same. Your father's life, never the same. Your sister's, never the same. Her children, their lives will never be the same. You change the entire dynamic of your family forever. Nobody will ever look at your family the same way as they used to because of you not coming forward and assisting the police. So yeah, you might have a lawyer that's helping you helping you to protect your rights and everything. And that's great. Nobody's asking you not to have a lawyer. Nobody's asking you not to protect your rights. I'm a huge advocate of protecting your rights no matter what. Okay? Nobody's asking you to do that. But can't you sit down with your lawyer and have a conversation with him and come up with a statement with your lawyer? Have your lawyer assist you in answering the questions for law enforcement. And let's say, hypothetical, not accusing you, hypothetically, let's say you did do it. By you running, it's not going to help anything. You're going to put your parents in bankruptcy if they're financially supporting you at this time. We don't know. There's so many ways to send money. Walmart, Cash Apps, all kinds of stuff. We have no idea. There's so many ways for you to escape this situation, right? But you know who can't escape this situation? Your sister and her kids. They got to go to school. She has to go to work. I don't know if your parents are still working. But eventually they're going to have to come out of the house. And when they do, they're going to have a lot of people surrounding them wanting answers. Is this what you pictured for yourself, for your family, for those who you love? Because I wouldn't want that for my family. And if you don't care, let me tell you right now, you can change the whole dynamic of how people see you by coming forward. Even if you, hypothetically, even if you did it, people will still be upset with you. Of course they will. There's no doubt about that. But at least in the end, you did the right thing. But the hiding and all of this other nonsense, there's nowhere left for you to go. Nothing left for you to do. You have destroyed any possibility of a future for yourself. People think that they have so much power when they take away someone's life, but they don't realize everything is connected in this world. You know, the CV-19, that should have demonstrated for all of us how each and every single one of us is connected. How somebody all the way in China and what is affecting them will eventually, at some point in life, will affect me too. And you and everybody else. Our actions have a cause and effect, always. Everything that's happening on this earth has a cause and an effect. And it affects everyone, whether in a small way or in a big way. Gabby's death affected millions of people all over the world. He didn't have faith in her that she could do it. But you know what? Even if this didn't happen, I still believe she was going to accomplish her dreams. And I believe that she is in heaven. She was looking down and she said, you know what? They're going to find me. I'm not going to allow that to happen. They're going to find me. And I know that she has this passion inside her. She's going to make it that we can find you. That energy, I can feel it. That energy that she has is still here. And it's going to help find you. This is such a... Nothing is worse than having people in your life that are supposed to love you, and instead they end up being the biggest enemy, the biggest snake in the grass. Nothing is worse than that. It doesn't even bother me when I meet a stranger and they hate me or anything like that. But the worst thing is when someone who is supposed to love you, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a spouse, and they are your biggest enemy. You have to constantly look over your back to make sure they're not out to get you. Nobody wants to live like that. No one. I don't know, man. Daniel Walker, well, I'm saddened to hear that it was her. I believe he did it, and he will be found. I believe that too. If he's still alive, he'll be wishing he wasn't. You know, I thought about that. If I thought that he was the type of personality that would, commit suicide, and I don't know. I feel like he has a lot of narcissistic tendencies. I think he loves himself too much. Yeah. This is going to be a much more complicated criminal case than people realize. Jameson, yep, it is. It is. But one of the biggest things was finding her. If he's alive, somebody is going to find him. I don't think they balling like that, you know. At least when people have conspiracy theories of Tupac is living in Puerto Rico or whatever, or you know, Michael Jackson and stuff. These people have money. You know what I mean? They can hide out for a while and not work. So, you know, at least you can understand that. But someone who hasn't even really worked, hasn't really saved money, eventually he's going to need money. Eventually, you know, even if somebody is financially funding him, they're going to run out of funds to give. Daniel, rest in peace, Gabby Petito. I didn't even know she was sick. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. So Gabby Petito, I'm not sure, Daniel, but Gabby Petito was found dead by homicide during a trip out west. So I wanted to, originally I was going to go live today to go over the footage of the body cam. And then when I was about to go live, that's when they came out with the confirmation that it was a homicide. So I'm going to still go over this with you guys. Let me see here. Give me a second, you guys, while I get this up. I feel so sorry for her family. I know what it's like to go through this. And it is heart-wrenching. It is absolutely heart-wrenching. And I just, it's one of those things where, like, when this happened to me with my friend, for example, I would see him everywhere. I couldn't go down the street without seeing him. I couldn't, everywhere I was, somebody reminded me of him. And it was an experience that I wouldn't wish on anyone. I don't wish it on anybody. All right, we're going to go through the full body cam. And I'm going to give you my perspective of what I'm seeing. I'm not a body language expert. I'm not anybody particular that I would have a professional viewpoint on this. I'm just a woman with a lot of life. Been through a lot of stuff. And I can pick up on a lot of stuff. Experience is the best wisdom. There's no better wisdom than experience. You can go to school for 20 years, but if you don't have the experience, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. So let's pull this up real quick, you guys. I'm going to take this banner down for a minute. All right.
Some obscure driving, possibly intoxicated. Currently doing 45 miles an hour. Zone through here is 25. Oh! Subject just hit the curb. Correction, speed limit is 15. I'm about 3/4 of a mile into the Arches, just before the gate.
Sorry,
You want to place your vehicle into park and go ahead and turn it off for me? No, park?
Oh, it isn't parked yet.
Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, all right? What's your guys' names?
I'm Brian.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How can we crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday and camping got the stuff, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that, he's kind of speaking like a little child, sorry, sorry, I hit the bump right there. Like, what man talks like that?
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
Yeah, I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine.
Another sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and close your door. Okay? Why don't you come over here?
And I just want to say, this is a disclosure. Like, this is me telling you my perspective. Listen, I understand there's a lot of people who are saying that, oh, he's definitely the victim in this situation and everything else. Okay, you guys have your opinions. You're allowed to have your opinions. I don't feel the same way. But I'm not one of those people who think that men can't be violated by women. I know they can. I worked with a lady, her son killed himself because of the abuse that his wife was inflicting on him, especially mentally. She was constantly bashing him and just telling him negative comments constantly, to the point where he just couldn't take it anymore. And I know that men are abused, and I know that a lot of times there's no justice for them. And I am not saying that that's not a real thing and that's not true. But I just don't feel like that's the situation in this case. I feel like he got away with his part. I think they both were playing their part, but I think his was more aggressive than hers was, for sure.
SO229, I have the female that was on the passenger seat separated from the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. I'm not like mean towards him. I just I guess my vibe is like I'm like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I just really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I think it's for an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That's my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. So I've been building my website, so I've been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it, so that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like down there, I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before.
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time, and he really stresses me out, and this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in?
So I think she's being completely honest in her part. Um, it's kind of weird how like you guys are arguing and she didn't mention anything that he was doing negatively. And there's no way that you can convince me that someone is doing something negative and like a fight, and he doesn't have anything that he's doing wrong. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Makes sense. It doesn't make any sense to me that, let's say for example, I'm fighting with someone, okay? Even if I was the one who started the arguments, okay? There's no way, unless they're like a messiah type of human being, there's no way that they're not going to feed off of each other's energy, and he's not going to lash out and do something too, like call her names or do anything. He doesn't do anything wrong in this situation. He's just practically perfect in every way. He's just like Mary Poppins or something. There's no way you can convince me that he didn't do anything wrong. She's not saying anything negative about him at all. That makes me feel like maybe she's trying to protect him and take all the blame for herself. Because there should be, a dialogue of, I did this and then he did that, and then I did this and then he did that, and then I did this and then he did that. But it's like me, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. And it's all being put on her. I'm not believing that he had nothing. He did nothing wrong at all. Even the stuff that he admitted to, like pushing her away and stuff like that. She doesn't say any of that. She doesn't mention it at all.
Backseat of my car. You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, all righty? Come on over here. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her. So, like, I lock the car and I walk away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own website blog and everything. So I give her time. And we really had a nice morning and everything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like garden or something like that.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had stuff on her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted me. I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute. She was worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys. So that way I was just trying to, I know I was going to push her, but I was just trying to push her away to go, let's just take a minute, step back and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here. Oh, that's from a wire. Some of that. Yeah. You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe you're getting pulled over. And she grabbed the wheel.
What about the speed? Did she take over the...
No, I'm sorry.
The pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just a moment of, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a minute to catch up to you. So,
yeah, I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill.
Here he goes, continuing to say, I'm sorry. All right, so now put yourself in his shoes. If you're saying, I'm sorry, okay? Maybe that's a normal reaction for a lot of people. But the only time that I'm going to be behaving like that is like overly apologetic is when I'm guilty of something or I feel like something is about to happen to me, and I'm trying to avoid that. Okay? Because if I didn't do anything wrong, and this is just me, maybe other people are different, but if it was me and I was innocent and the other person is guilty and the other person is the one doing this nonsense, I would be like, I didn't do anything. That was all on her. She did this, she did that. Like, I wouldn't be apologizing for anything. I would be explaining why I'm so innocent, why that person is so guilty. But he's like over apologetic, like constantly apologizing for what? Why are you so sorry? That doesn't sit well with me.
Okay, and I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike. That's good. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Of course.
Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and
I'm
just
sorry
take a
about
seat
that.
right over here on the floor?
There's plenty of time to go for a hike.
You don't have anything in that pocket or anything like that.
I highly doubt in the moment Gabby was worried about going for a hike. It just seems like he's like constantly wanting to walk.
Nope, just the wallet. All right. And then, do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check the waistband? I got turn around for me real quick. I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor, take a seat. All right. Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car, if you want to come with me,
Yeah, no, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
you come with me, I'll give it to you.
All right, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian?
Brian? Is that Layman spelling?
B-R-I-N, yeah, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
L-A-U-N.
D-R-I-E.
D-R-I-E?
Yep.
Laundrie? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your date of birth, Brian?
I'll say crisscross applesauce, but that just in the shades to the ball.
Again, he talks like a child. He behaves like a child. I guess maybe this is how he behaves when he feels like he's in trouble. Like, this is the behavior you get from like a little kid. Crisscross applesauce. I'm assuming that he's like a sexually active male that should be more mature than this. I don't understand why he's so immature. Crisscross applesauce, you're being pulled over by the police. You're smiling like a giddy little schoolgirl. Why? Why are you look at the smile on his face. Why are you smiling?
It's okay. I'll give you some shit. Sound good?
All right, just hang tight for me. SO229. I need a 29. You got name and date of birth? First name Brian, Layman spelling, last name Laundrie. Lima Alpha Uniform, November Delta Romeo India.
What'd you get over? Stop this first?
Let me fast forward it a little bit.
Go ahead. Look at the situation. Look at the situations you can get in. You would feed off.
But it just makes me upset. I know that he's definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
Way of taking my anxiety and bringing it down. But my ex-wife, I'm just trying to, I know it's a little personal, but help you understand. We would feed off each other's anxiety and spiral. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much I loved her. It may be bad for your soul. Same. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but if you know you have anxiety, look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? And we're not here to be mean to you or anything. Well, you know, there's a first time, and then it usually. We'll go see what Brian's saying, but I think you've heard everything now from.
Quick question. You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the
I
steering
didn't touch the steering wheel, but only for like a second because I just saw the lights come on and it was more just like you're an idiot. Like you know.
But did you grab the steering wheel and like
No.
swerve or anything like
No,
that?
no, no. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
I'm gonna go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick?
Okay, so at this point, one is telling the truth and the other one is lying. So either, you know, she says she hit him like you're an idiot type of hit, like a punch on the upper arm is what I feel she's demonstrating. Okay, that shouldn't be like that shouldn't have been that hard of a punch where he like, you know, runs into the curb, where he like moves the steering wheel all the way over, like. And not only that, but if she's in the passenger seat and she's punching his right arm, if that was the reason why he moved the steering wheel, wouldn't he have moved the car to the left and not towards the curb on the right? Do you see what I'm saying? So that, you know, her hitting him, or that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense that by her hitting him, that's how he ran into the curb. Now, if she did pull on the steering wheel, maybe. Or another situation could be that she punched him because they're getting pulled over in the arm, and then maybe he went to go grab her or do something. And then when he went to go do that, he moved the steering wheel and hit into the curb. It could have been either way. But she's not saying anything negative about him at all. At all. That's strange to me. That makes me feel like she's sticking up for him.
Grab some water.
I need water.
I will see if I can find some.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you already give a statement for this officer? I got this gentleman here. Yeah. This gentleman noticed that you had some marks over your neck. Yeah. You seem like you want some hurt too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. I know you probably already told the story. This officer is probably going to be the one handling the whole case. You want to listen to what he has to say, and and then you tell him what happened. Something we don't like.
Start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning. Well, I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in Beyond Land for the past week or so around, and the flies here are like pretty intense. So the flies have definitely been getting to her, and then my feet are dirty and everything. So I think our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to the bed, there was some dirt and stuff again, and I moved our food around. It was a little disorganized, so she gets a little.
Sorry about that. Do you need any water?
It's okay.
It's hot out.
I just don't know we were going to get water because it ran out, but it's okay. No, it's right. I don't know class about it. Okay. Thank you. But we just had a little disagreement there. And the disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I was saying, "Oh, it's okay. Thank you, sir." Okay. As long as it's cool. That's good. So it was just more disagreement, and I just wanted to.
What was the disagreement about?
It was. I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty. Like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So yeah, there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't agree with relationships.
I've been married for over 5 years now. So
there's a lot of little things.
yeah, I can go.
And we really we weren't physical before the point where I said, all right, let's just take a breather and like walk away for a minute. I'll walk the van up and I'll go for a walk this way, and you can go walk that way on the block. You know, there's that moon. Always a couple moonflowers. Right. Yeah, nice areas. You can go either way. It's all shaded. So let's go for a little walk and breathe. Come back. Just breathe. Yeah, we're happy with it. I'm not upset with her. She got worked up and she had a phone in her hand and keys and everything. And she wanted, not a keys, like her rings, things, the phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have a.
I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me. He seems to be going back and forth, kind of not really adding up to what he's saying. He's just trying to make it seem like, oh, it really wasn't a big deal. It was just like a minor disagreement. And especially on the parts You notice how she didn't mention any of this stuff at all. This is just him speaking about these things, right? So for me, that's her trying to protect him by not speaking on anything negative about him. He's kind of giving like his view on the negative stuff that he did, but making it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, like, oh, I was trying to do this and I was trying to do that. No, home. Like, you are undermining it, which means that you're trying to downplay your part in what happened. That is concerning to me.
So she goes off without me. But, I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk, and she was trying to get the keys for me, so I just go, just wait, back up, and that's what she did me. I didn't get, I don't know if I didn't get overtly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud, and that's probably fear of attention where it's going, back up, get away, just give me a clue.
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches on your arm?
The phone.
The phone. So you pushed her and she hit you?
She was. It wasn't like a push, and she jumped on me. She was already. I don't know. She was already swinging, and I was pushing. Yeah. A lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings.
Yeah, you got three scratches in your neck. You got one on the left side of your neck. You got one in your face here, and you got four from the knee. As far as you mind looking?
And if this is a situation where she was abusing him and she was like constantly hitting him when she would get upset and things like that, and in the moment, this is just all hypothetical. None of this is I'm not saying this is what I think is actually happening. Hypothetically, if that was the situation and she was doing this to him, and just out of nowhere he just had enough, and then it led to where we're at today. Even if that's the situation, even if that's the case, you still need to come forward, Brian. You can't hide behind that. Okay, I am not the type of person who is okay with anybody putting their hands on anyone. I don't care if you're a male or a female. You keep your hands to yourself. And if it's something where like two people are like, one's antagonizing the other one to fight and the other one actually starts fighting, hey, that's on y'all. But when it comes to like relationships, things like this, like, just keep your hands to yourself. It affects men as equally as it affects women. Emotionally, it affects them. Imagine like, the ego and the pride, and even if they can, defend themselves against you, in a lot of situations they don't, because they're afraid of getting in trouble if they defend themselves. Okay. And this is not me giving him an out. This is not me saying that this is what I feel. I feel like he is equally, they're both feeding off of each other's energy. I think they were both a very toxic combination with each other. I think that he may have a lot of anger issues, and I think that he's trying to hide it and portray himself as this innocent childlike being in front of the police officers, being all buddy with them, and kind of like, hey, you guys get it, you guys understand what it's like to be with women like this, like, you guys understand, you guys get it. And so I'm not comfortable with that. And then when we hear the 911 tape where the guy's saying that he is seeing him physically attacking her, that he slapped her, is exactly what the witness claimed, that he witnessed him slapping her, and that she was trying to basically, like, he was about to leave her behind. And at one point he's accusing her of wanting to leave him behind. Oh, I wanted to lock up the van and we both go our separate ways so that she doesn't leave me behind. So that makes me feel like he's a narcissist. I have people that are close to me that are narcissists, and they very much behave this way. And that little smile, that smile you see right there, when they feel like what the magic that they're doing is working, that's the look that they give. it's just like, it's working. I'm a genius. I'm such a master of deception. Like, it's ridiculous.
Lifting up your right sleeve for me. I'm curious about something.
Oh, it's a little bit of nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Is it bruised or tender or anything like
No,
that?
no, no. I'm fine, and I love Gabby. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just.
That was a huge red flag when he said that. I have no complaints against her. I hope she has no complaints against me. And I've talked about this in the comment sections before. Why would you say that if you didn't do anything wrong? If you're completely innocent, this girl is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And trust me, we've all met some girls and guys that are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So we understand what you mean by that kind of crazy, right? But you're saying, I have no complaints against her. I hope she has no complaints against me. He's constantly worried what she said to them. And when he realizes, when the police inform him, pay attention to how he's behaving. When he realizes that his scapegoat plan worked like a charm. He is so, like, he is a giddy little schoolgirl, just like, it's ridiculous. He is so freaking excited and happy. Like, this is the time of his life. And he's being pulled over for a DA. Okay. You just had this huge argument with your girlfriend. You see how she is still worked up over the whole thing. She's not calm. She's still worked up. And he is just acting like nothing ever happened today. Like, today was the most beautiful day. He woke up and everything was perfect. Today is just the most wonderful day in the world. It's strange. You're currently interacting with police that are trying to figure out who they're going to arrest, and you're smiling like that. That's how you know the boy's not wrapped too damn tight.
I feel bad I think it's so public. I was just trying to be loud. So this is, you know, I try to make her calm down and be like, look, everyone's watching. So like,
Sorry.
I got a quick question for you. Do you take any medications or anything like that?
I'm going to fast forward this because we don't get to hear the answer.
Real fast, can I get your first name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, how do you spell that? Your last name? B-E-T? P. I haven't had a person.
okay, now,
I want to get on the strip.
4 to 5 months now. You're up to 5.
What was the determinant of the place?
We're going to Soylent. So her grandmother's best friend lives in Portland, where we stayed. And 2 years ago, we did a Blood Shots movie trip, which we loved. We did it in Nissan Sentra, like a tiny little car. So I was like, let's do it.
And see, just having interactions in the past, it kind of seems like whoever's the calm one and just like more willing to cooperate, you know, and just the one that's more chilled, they tend to believe that person more. And oftentimes when a victim was just like in the, like, let's say someone was just attacking you, it's going to be very difficult for you to be calm. Okay, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to vocalize what just happened.
Better is a big band, not a big tiny band, you know. But I said let's try and do a little better, and it's great so far for sure. But you were going over Portland, and I don't know if you probably hear more familiar. Woofing. Have you ever heard that? WWOOFING.
Yeah.
You got.
I'm from California
Look,
originally.
he's-
Oh yeah.
So, and part of my job, I dealt with employees that were from all across the United States, like Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, everything you can think of on your level oyster, right? I know most of them.
It's called Why Not with Trees on organic farm. So it's like a volunteer working type of situation. We're going to get working on organic farms. So that's our goal once we get over to Washington. We'll do that from Washington and down to Oregon.
Yeah, Brian, guess what? That plan's never going to happen.
What part of California is that?
I'm from a town just outside Sequoia National Park.
You're going to get
You're going to be going through there?
We'll get good either way afterwards.
But no, it wasn't too bad at all.
I recorded it, not going to tell you what he said. Walked her out of the vehicle. She eventually couldn't get in and actually clawed her way in through the driver's door. He said, I don't understand why she's doing that. Well, I think it's because it's the only door that.
Hey, listen, if there's any lawyers that are listening to this at all, could you let me know? I'm very curious to know. This is her vehicle, okay? And I looked up, and they do have stand your ground laws there, okay? If he's about to take off with her van, wouldn't she have every right to defend her van so he doesn't take off with it? I'm just curious. And so if I'm not even sure if they really know at this point that this is her van, but wouldn't that change the entire dynamic, or shouldn't it have changed the entire dynamic? Because I know that I don't care who it is, my mom, my brother, my cousin, my sister, I don't care who it is, a stranger. You're trying to take off with my van. You're trying to take off with my vehicle and leave me stranded in the middle of nowhere. He's going to have a lot more than just a few scratches on him.
It wasn't locked that she could get through. She's trying to get it over him. He's trying to disengage from her. I guess he hung her backpack on the back probably so she'd have her shit. He didn't have to engage with her. Everything she's saying is the same thing. I haven't heard what he said, but if that's what he said, it's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her as far as her, being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with her being the primary aggressor is in an instance of domestic assault, be it a male or be it a female, we shall arrest. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to jail. We can do a citation if it meets one of the three criteria.
When it comes to a lot of DA situations, I noticed that anybody who has like the actual physical marks on them, they just naturally assume that they were the victim because they have evidence. They have physical evidence. And so that's usually how they tend to be swayed.
Criteria, which one of them is making sure that they're not further.
Part of it, the thing stories about so now probably 2 car lengths behind him, tapping my way.
So, fortunately for her, she. Now, I don't want to take this small 21
22-year-old blonde hair, blue-eyed.
you could definitely defend yourself against, but at the same time, you can't say because you're a male or she's a female, you can't treat this different than if you were male hitting her. You got to treat it the same.
And you know what? I totally respect that. I totally respect what this officer is saying and doing. I totally respect that because I feel the same way. I see guys in situations where I'm like, dude, if I was a man, I would knock her out at this point. Like, I wouldn't even care if I get charged. Because sometimes women, like, they take advantage of that situation. And that's true. But we can't act like, oh, okay, this guy, that's definitely what the situation is with him. There's 2 witnesses, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong. One, the 911 tape that we heard, and I'll leave a link to it in the description box, where he's saying that Brian is the one who is the aggressor. not Gabby. Gabby is the one defending herself against him. And then, according to this police officer, he spoke with another eyewitness, and he's saying that he saw Brian pushing her, but he's not sure if he was doing it to get her away from him or if he was doing it, because he was being abusive. So they just naturally assume that he is the innocent one. And it kind of seems like this officer to the right who's speaking to him right now, I don't know. I was always taught that you don't bring your personal problems to work with you. And he's talking about, I know he's trying to, assess the situation, but I feel like he's using a little bit too much reasoning. Like, okay, this is how my wife was with me, and this couple reminds me of that situation. So that's what this must be. And I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like you could definitely go wrong by doing stuff like that.
She's kind of in a tough spot. So unless you have an idea about how she could not go to jail and be separated, you have friends in town.
Can't compare two relationships. Like that's like people who get into new relationships and they compare them to their ex. It's like, why are you comparing this couple to your relationship? That's two separate matters. You, as an officer, what was happening in your private personal life. Okay. But you don't know for a fact that that's the same exact situation with these two. You don't know that.
Somewhere she could stay. Tomorrow, if you want to, it's up to you. You can go to jail. You can't because we don't have a charge for you. And then tomorrow.
And then he says, "Can I go to jail?" Okay, you know what? You're getting on my nerves at this point. Can I go to jail? Now you knew the answer. Here you go trying to act like you're a messiah again. You're Mr. Good Guy. You're the good guy. She's just and you're the good one. This I don't like about him. Can I go to jail instead? He knew that they couldn't. He knew that they wouldn't. But he's trying to seem like, oh, I'll save her I'll go to jail and then, she can do whatever she needs to do. Come on now. But then watch how he acts when they ask him the question of, oh, so you guys can't be together tonight. So we got to figure out a situation so she doesn't go to jail. And basically, like, they're asking him, like, do you know any way we can get her a place to stay for the night? Like, what we can do to get you two separated for the night. And he's just playing it off, oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what we could do. What do you mean you don't know what you could do? So you can't think of I can't think of anything. Get out of here. What about making a call to the parents? You can't think of anything. You guys don't have some money saved up. In one of the press conferences with her, Gabby's father, he says that she had money. He didn't say how much, but she had money. So he's like, but she didn't have enough money she could stay in a hotel the whole time, but she had money saved for her trip. So I'm sure she could have spent money on a hotel easily. And you're over here playing stupid like y'all don't have any money. You have no clue how this could work. And you have nobody to call. And that's all full of cap. All full of
Wanted to be with her again tomorrow. I'm going to take it right now. If you want to be with her again tomorrow.
What happened? Why is my internet acting up? Make sure. Let me try and refresh it.
Spot. So unless you have an idea about how she could not go to jail and be separated, you have friends in town.
Internet's broken. Give me a second, you guys. Let me see what's going on.
Defend yourself against, but at the same time, you can't say because you're a male as you're a female.
I don't know. Basically, that's my analysis. I'm gonna leave it at that. This isn't working, and that's okay.
First, if you say
It'll work now.
say, you really think you already have, there's you understand?
No, it's not gonna work. It's still acting up. Okay. So basically, that's how I feel. I feel like he's a narcissist. I've dealt with plenty of narcissists in my past and in my present. And you know what? This is typical behavior. Especially when you know that person. It's like there's one person in particular, I'm not going to mention who it is in my life. And most people just fall, like, they just melt like butter in his hands. And I watch them just melting like butter and just eating it all up. And I'm sitting there looking at that person like, I know you're full of it. And they're looking at me because they know I know them, like the real them. And they just have this duping delight look on their face like, I know, isn't it wonderful? Look at them believing everything I'm saying. And it's sickening. It's sickening. And I'll call them out on it. And these people look at me like I am the problematic person. Oh, look at Melissa being confrontational again. Like, I'm just like, okay, y'all, whatever. That's your problem. Like, I know the truth. If you guys can't see, that's your problem. And he reminds me of that so much. So much. That smile on his face, like, there's no doubt in my mind. It's sickening. And I can only imagine what that relationship was like behind closed doors. And if walls could talk, and how the relationship was even during the time that they were living together, at the parents' house. I'm really curious to know what that dynamic was. And I don't believe that we'll ever know. Like, there's no part of me that thinks that the family, the parents, are ever going to come out and speak against their son in any negative way. So that's kind of pointless. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad that this is, if I was her family member, and I saw that this is one of the last times that I'm ever going to see my loved one is on a body cam with the police. And that was like an opportunity, like the universe giving you an opportunity to stop this disaster from happening further. And it wasn't stopped. Like, that's so like heart-wrenching to me. It's very heart-wrenching to me. I don't know. I wanted to go over this video here with you guys. It's called it's a YouTuber, Nerve Gorilla, NIRVGORILLA. And he shows how you can see the van door opening.
I got to make a third one.
You can see the van door closing. And one person in my comment section said that you can see sandals under the ladder of the van. And I was on my phone when I was looking at it, and all I saw was rocks. So I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. But here in this video, he actually shows the sandals, because he has very good zoom, which I don't have. He shows how to get it, so maybe I should download it. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys this video. You may have seen it, but go ahead and watch it again with me. Let me see here.
the highest quality you can get. So that's probably why it looks as good as it does. So some people thought for some reason I was like it was a doctored video or something. This is what it would normally look like if you're just watching it right here. See? You don't really see anything, especially if you're on a cell phone. You can't see anything. So let me fast forward a little bit. Right here is the point you start seeing the van. You can't if you're on a cell phone, you're not gonna be able to see it. So I will zoom in right now. Zooming is a little bit choppy just because it's the Mad VR codec or the Mad VR render. So you can see right here in the direct center of the screen, that is the back of the van. You'll see it's black in the center right there. Now I'm gonna to the van. You'll see it's black in the center right there. Now I'm gonna slow it down and let it play just kind of slowly. You'll see as we round the corner, you'll still see a black line right in the center there. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit more. There, okay. There's a black sliver right in this back of that van. You would think it's a tree, right? Well, we'll see in a second here. So you're going to start seeing it close here in a second. Watch. It's going to start closing. Watch very carefully. Right in the center of the screen right now.
And
there it goes. It's starting to close.
Wow, you can see it.
Boom,
oh, for
closed.
Sure.
Okay.
You guys
Did you get that?
Look, listen. If you're not watching it on a computer and you're watching it on a phone, okay, I have an iPhone 12 Pro, but it was very difficult for me to see it on this video. If you can't see it, I'm telling you, get on a computer and it's very clear that that's what's happening. He's going to rewind it, but I'm going to rewind it again myself.
Boom, closed. Okay, did you get that?
Hold on, let me see.
Watch, it's going to start closing. Watch very carefully.
Wow.
Right in the center of the screen.
Who do you guys think it is? Do you think it's Gabby or do you think it's Jungle Man?
Closed. Okay, did you get that? Let me rewind just one more time. Not as slow. You're going to see it and closed. Now, if you think it's a tree, I'll just let it play a little bit here, and you'll see that's not actually a tree. You'll see there's no tree in the center.
If you can't
there's a tree to the left
clearly,
and a couple trees to the right there.
It's not a tree.
But that was definitely open, absolutely open.
I'm watching this on my iMac, and it's not a tree, and you can clearly see it. Like I said, watch it on. If you can't see it yourself, watch it on a computer.
Now that's really hard to see. If you're just watching it like this, it's almost impossible. You basically have to zoom in. Now, about the sandals.
See, right, I didn't see the sandals. See, like, actually, I can kind of see it right now on the computer. But if you're watching it on a phone, it's going to be very hard because the color of the sandals blends in with the ground and the stones and everything. So, like, it's very hard to see it. But actually, if you see it on this video and on a computer, it's very clear.
So you can see them. Some people were asking about this.
So like right here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but here's like, you know, the part that goes over the top of your foot. Here's the top of the sandal, so it's pointing towards the van, and then it wraps around like that. It's very clear on the computer. So again, watch this video, this part of the video on a computer.
Sandals. And right at the back, you can see right there, right at the base of that ladder, you'll see there are definitely two sandals there. I'll rewind it and play it in slow motion just so you can see. Yep, there's definitely two sandals there, okay? Yep, right there. So,
and like there's something else on the ground.
Now, somebody wanted to know about it.
I'm not trying to be one of those people who are like, oh, like, but there's something right here. I'm not really sure what this is, but this is something. I don't know. It looks like, there's like, this is like a square piece here. This is like facing the opposite side. And then there's something like on top over here. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know. Not sure if you guys can see it. Like Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I don't know, but I can definitely see the sandals now. So whoever commented about the sandals, you're correct. That is true. I didn't want to comment on it until I saw it for myself. But yes, there are sandals.
Now, somebody wanted to know about if there was somebody in the front seat or whatever. I'll show actually two different angles on this one. Oh, let me get that.
Hey, you guys, listen. Make
So
sure
from this angle,
right here, Nerve Gorilla,
you'll see something.
Go show him some love.
Kind of. It's actually really hard to see. I'll skip just a frame forwards and backwards here. It's way too blurry to tell, but there is something white there, and you could see the bottom of the window. So I didn't think it was somebody hiding on the other side of the van. I actually thought it was a cloud reflection, but actually it turns out, because we have another angle, I'll get to it right here. It's at about 8 minutes in this video. There's a front angle of this.
Not to be a distraction, but look at this dog right here. Is he not the cutest ever?
Side. Now, let's see what that actually is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know this is a very serious matter, but look at this face. Like, who cannot look at that face and just think it is totally adorable?
All right. It actually looks like a pillow or something. So I know nobody's going to like me, but I'm not a really superstitious person. You know, I'm pretty scientifically minded. I live in reality. There's nothing in this video that I want to see, that I'm looking to try to see. I just want the facts, you know. I just kind of want to know what really happened, regardless of my opinion. And it looks like pillows strapped to the seat or something. Yeah, it looks pretty high up, obviously above the steering wheel. But it doesn't seem to be a person.
It doesn't look like anything of much significance. But again, like maybe a detective would think opposite of that.
Seem to be, but there definitely was a person in the back. I don't know if it's Gabby. I don't know if it's Brian as of this point. Maybe we'll learn in the future. I'm guessing it's Gabby just because of the sandals. I don't think that dude wore those sandals. Somebody did post a picture somewhere online having to do with her sandals and them looking like her sandals. So
I used to know the timeline pretty well. Let me look back at my videos. This is why I like to put the dates on the videos, because if I don't, then I'll have a hard time remembering the timeline sometimes. So the day that this was recorded was on August the 27th. And this is also on August the 27th is also the day that I'm not sure if you guys have seen. Let me bring it up real quick. Give me a second. Okay, let me see. Hold on. What did I just do? Did I just log out of my live? It was. Why is my computer acting up? I don't know why my computer is acting up right now, but it is definitely acting up. Okay. Why isn't this working? I'm sorry, you guys. Give me a second. I went to go put in Twitter to show you guys something, and then this happened. I'm not sure what is going on. There we go. Okay, yeah. I don't know. This is my first time using StreamYard. I use OBS most of the time, but I like the simplicity behind StreamYard. That's why I decided to use it, but it's really making my computer go very slow today to the point where I can't even get onto a lot of this stuff. So I don't know. Let me try. All right, I'm gonna have to stop the live and figure this out. Sorry, you guys. But if you can still hear me, I will try and go live again tomorrow, and we're gonna go over some of the timelines and things like that. So around 7 o'clock tomorrow, look for me on live. And again, to the Petito family, I'm really sorry for your loss. Very, very sorry for your loss. And to the public, please respect their privacy and their space. Give them the time for healing because they're going to need this time. So please, if you're going to bother them at all, let it be positive, good vibes. Do not be confrontational with them. Do not send them anything negative. Keep the negative remarks to yourself. I just pray that the family receives a healing. They deserve it. And again, send that family nothing but love, you guys. Until tomorrow, stay blessed, everybody.